Success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything right. Gary Keller. And my friends, you learn how to do the right thing by 10 to 15 minutes each and every day, following these charts, doing your practice trading, following the rules. I hope you liked all of those trainings I put at the end of the show yesterday. They're the four of the five top trainings that we've put out most recently, and man, are they not a killer course if you just take those videos. And again, you can look at yesterday's show, and again, you will get so much from it. At the end, we load up all, you know what, I'm going to do it again at the end of today's show for you. Again, take some time, go through those training videos. They show you everything you need to know about the always winning formula, the success multiplier formula, the average true range for setting up your profit and loss bands. All the good stuff is there, and it's free. You don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars on a course. You just have to do what works and keep doing it. It doesn't cost you anything to practice trade. We're not a stock calling service. We're an education firm, and we do all this for you each and every day because we love you. I'm telling you, I've explained to you guys before, I'm the one that benefits from all of this. Every single day I'm forced to get into this market, go through these charts, explain what's going on, and it blesses me more than it ever blesses you. It's amazing. Now, let's jump into these charts and see what's happening. We see that stocks are down, bonds are up, gold is down, and Bitcoin is down. So let's jump first into the S&P 500. We see it down 1.10%. We have pushed through the 200 EMA a few days ago, and things are just continuing to plummet down on stocks. We, of course, took a chunk out of that earlier on where it peaked out going up. We look at the 2-day, and we can see that we're 4 down candles pushing through, again, that 200 EMA, 200 exponential moving average. It shows you where you are in relationship to the trend. Well, we've moved below that 200 period. And again, on a 2-day chart, that's 400 days. Weekly chart, 200 weeks. Half-day chart, 100 days. So we see that also we have flipped over on that 2-day chart. It has gone from green to red, and that's on the STC. The weekly is still holding into the green, but 2 weeks of accelerating downward moves. Again, we haven't plumbed these lows. We got a ways to go before we get down to the 200 EMA on the weekly chart. But again, we'll watch, wait, and see. And of course, we're going to have a bit of correction moving up to turn this STC green before we can jump in again. And of course, we're in negative territory, so we'll be looking for down moves just like we were looking for up moves when things peaked out and gave us a 2.32% a week or so ago. So let's move on to the Qs. It's moving down quite nicely too. 1/110th of 1%, 1/100th of a percent more downward move. So 1.11% on the Qs versus 1.10% on the S&P. 3 days of down movement there below the 200 EMA. What's up with the 2-day? It too has turned red on the STC, 4 down candles, similar to the S&P 500, and similar also on the weekly chart. STC still green there. So we're waiting for a trigger to bring us in. Hasn't happened yet. That's okay. Now, we talked about this down move yesterday, but did you notice when I was talking about that yesterday, this is the problem trying to do anything on the fly in a live show. Why? Because the green never proceeded above this grayed area. Remember, we only jump in when our green up move has peaked out and crossed over going down and is above the 200, is above this center line, or if the red has bottomed out and it crosses over from red to green going up. We don't do these little half-ass movements where it peaks up and it's in this grayed out area and moves back over up or down, which is just what happened yesterday. we talked about jumping in. And of course, I hadn't triggered that beforehand because I caught it beforehand. Then when I'm doing the show, I look at it. I did show you, though. It was a good experiment for me to be able to show you live, like how to set up your crossover, when a crossover occurs and how to set up a short position. But of course, that one was not a proper place to put it. And remember, why do we have the rules we have? Because they work most of the time. What happened immediately? Popped back up. Went from red to green because we're in that center band. We do not trade. That's the rule. We are below the 200 EMA waiting for a down move. We look at the 2-day. We can see where we have had a slowdown in the down movement. Green spinning top forming there. Again, we are red on the STC on the 2-day. On the weekly, it's still green. 4 weeks of down movement. Haven't hit the lows of the prior week yet. We'll wait, watch, and see as bonds set themselves up for us. Let's go to gold. Gold is, of course, below the 200 EMA here on the half-day chart. It went from green to red, but we didn't initiate a trade. Why? Because it didn't move up above the gray zone. So it just stayed there, went from green and then back to red. We want to see things take off, of course, and move down once it gets to the top on the green. Those are just the rules. If you're taking those trainings we put out yesterday, I'll put at the end of today's program, you'll understand that better. That is the way it works. So we're waiting for the initiation of another down move in gold. Isn't happening at this point. We have lots of strong down movement on the 2-day. It's just converting over to red. And we look at the weekly. Where are we there? Well, the weekly had bounced off. And again, we've said this several times. The week beginning the 11th of July and then again on the 18th of July sort of bottomed out, popped up for 3 weeks, and then now down for 3 weeks. Where is gold going to go? Don't know, but it is red again on that big weekly chart. So lots of downward pressure on gold. Lastly, let's go to Bitcoin. We'll go to XBTF. That is the VanEck ETF, which is the Bitcoin strategy. It is a closed end. I think it's a monthly. It is. I read you that whole explanation yesterday as to how it is a futures. It is short-term futures. And where is it going through the course of the day? Down 0.93%. If I look at the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin, I see it's down 1.44%. But of course, the nice thing about XBTF is you can find that on any exchange. There's also the inverse. It's been going up as Bitcoin's been going down. Again, I mentioned this on the show yesterday. One of our Patreon supporters shared this with me. It's not been around a while. If we pull this in, you can see it only started back on the 21st of June, so doesn't have a lot of history, but that's okay because we do have some history on XBTF that gives us some signals. And of course, we used that to go back and do a little historic trade that worked out quite nicely. But as we look at what's going on XBTF, what do we see? Just continued down movement. Again, are we going to get down to where we hit the most recent lows again? Might be headed that way. Bitcoin just can't seem to catch a breath. We saw it stuttering, trying to move up, and then it sort of peaked out and lost it again. What about the 2-day? It is still green on the STC, but we have many days of down movement again, getting close to that most recent bottom, still green on the STC. And of course, for a while, we can see that we've been red on the STC on the weekly chart. 3 weeks of ever increasing down movement, accelerating down movement again, watching for this most recent low back on the 27th of June. We'll see where things go. Are we going to get it to bounce off of that, maybe start making an interim bottom? That'd be nice, but yet to be seen, my friends. That is where we are, and we so appreciate you being with us as we finished up the market on Tuesday, running into Wednesday. We always appreciate you being with us. We love to hear from you. Patreon members, thank you so much for your continued support of what we do here at the channel. If you're interested in Patreon membership, go check out all the benefits, particularly that Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way. First thing you get, plus you get early access to our Charting Crypto, comes out tomorrow. And of course, once a month, that live question and answer call in session. And every week on Thursdays, the weekly vertical crossovers always gives you something to look at practice trading. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters. God bless.